music, the impressions left on people by people makes a huge ripple effect for the rest of time.
Right.
You know?
All I'm saying is that
Elvis down.
I don't think that for you to enjoy music, you need to have a prerequisite.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the same thing because like the same thing with cars, right? You don't have to study the Model T Ford. You don't have to study some of the new hyper cars that are doing really good job amalgamating between like hybrids and gas engines for you to like have an appreciation for what's out.
Completely true.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, if you've seen like Bull Durham or let's say the first Godfather movie and realized that where movies were heading at that direction and somebody actually created art that pushed everything in a slightly different direction. And we see it even today, like something as silly as the Blair Witch Project would come out. And then after that, more of these movies would come out and you see the improvements in this subgenre of movies.
Yeah.
The Beatles impacted like all genre. Specifically from the sound writing perspective.
Right.
It wasn't just that, their thing was very catchy and poppy.
Right.
These guys were excellent songwriters and musicians. And they toiled away in somewhat obscurity before hitting it big.
Right.
And other artists are influenced greatly by it. So yeah, can you enjoy music? Everybody can bob their head.
Right.
But if you like the history of music, how did, this artist that I love today come to be and what influenced them?
Yeah.
Same thing with comedy.
Right.
There's huge wave changes with one comedian came through and comedy wasn't the same.
Yeah.
Chris Rock talked about this and now we can all talk about this. In fact, why were we talking about this?
Right.
Because before that it was all caricatures and who's on first and he's on second.
Right.
So yeah.
No, I get it. It's just that I think the basic way for me to understand what you're trying to say is the fact that, you become a nerd for music. Right, so you go deep into it, trying to find out where it's going. I find stuff like that is interesting, but it's like the stuff that it's only the stuff that I want to know. So, for example, remember that you had sent me an article or a video by Vox, and it was the breakdown of how lyrics, like hip hop lyrics, has grown and changed over the course of like ever since like Run DMC, right, and Rakim. And what that means for the building blocks for someone like Kendrick Lamar taking it or Eminem taking it from this thing.
It helps you appreciate Kendrick more and Eminem more because you actually understand what they're doing and why it's so important.
Yeah. Maybe I'll look at it. Is there a Beatles documentary that could be watched?
Man. This is what you do. You sit down.
Yeah.
And you download. You know what? You can probably take any of their last three. You just download an album.
Yeah.
You just listen to it.
That's it. Right.
That's all. That's all you got to do, man. That's all you got to do.
Am I going to be able to put these things together?
You're never going to be able to drive a 1969 Shelby.
Yeah.
But you can download a Beatles record and just listen to it on a drive.
Right. And experience it that way.
Experience parts of it.
Yeah.
So
that being said, driving a Shelby would be freaking phenomenal.
I think so.
I would take that over any what's it called? Beatles album.
Of course, those are two different things.
This is so good. This is so good.
You can, in fact, do them both at the same time if you were so inclined.
Yeah, that's true. Dude,
nice shirt, man.
Oh, I was gonna pivot to that right away. All right. As you know, I'm a bandwagon jumper.
Nice. Jump on.
I only watch the Raptors if I get free tickets to go watch the Raptors.
Oh man.
And or
that's such a small window to do anything.
And or when they win, or when they're in the playoffs.
Right.
Or whatever it is that they.
You know what? You don't even watch them then. So like, because they're in the playoffs now.
No, I do watch. I watch this like streaming on my computer while I'm doing some other stuff.
Okay.
That's as good as it's gonna get.
All right, cool, man. I just like anybody who's trying to get on that bandwagon.
So, for us bandwagon jumpers.
Yeah.
Right. They finished off the Bucks.
They finished off the Bucks that were a tough team. Bucks have this guy. His name is Giannis Antetokounmpo, or it's very close to that. I'm sorry, it's a Greek name, people.
Right, but he's black.
He's black.
Yeah,
and his nickname is the Greek Freak. Yeah. And he led the Bucks in scoring, rebounds, assists, blocks, and he led them in like 6 categories. And the guy's 22. The guy's like the new wave of. Like if the alien ship landed and a bunch of him came out, you'd be like, shit, that's what I would expect. Because he's super long, super athletic, and really a versatile player. We caught the Bucks at the right time that they're young.
Okay.
And we had
they're young Bucks.
They're young Bucks. Oh shit! Where's the drums? But yeah, I went to Game 6, which was crucial. Got these shirts and stuff that you see. Our friend was nice enough to get us box seats.
Yep.
But man, great game, great series. Happy to get out of it. And now we're facing the Cavs that won the championship last year. So I feel like it's a great place to be.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. As a bandwagon jumper, I can tell you is that whenever you're supposed to just fully lose to the other team, it's expected.
Yeah.
That's a no pressure situation, especially if you're going up against arguably the best player of all time in LeBron James.
Right.
The guy's been to like 7 finals in a row. So every season, 82 games, these teams, they start a season.
Yeah.
And every season for the last 7 years, he gets to the pinnacle of either winning the championship or losing at it. It's unprecedented. Like, that doesn't happen in any sport.
Yeah.
Any sport that this one dude, and he's switched teams.
Yeah.
But he still goes to the finals.
He just carries them with him.
Yeah,
as he
exactly.
goes. Yeah.
And he's the general manager, but he'll just tell them we need a playmaker. And they'll be like, we don't have the budget, get one. And they're like, okay, and he pulls this team, he'll drag people with him. I like this guy, I've played with him before, bring him on. He just creates a team, he coaches them on and off the court.
Really?
Last year, there was a play with 3 seconds left, they were down by 2. The coach drew up a play. They started the play, LeBron got the ball, he just took it. He made the shot, and they went on to the next round.
Right.
Because LeBron knows how to run a team from start, top down. He knows what's required at what time he needs to step back, what time he needs to take control. I know I'm talking more about LeBron than the Raptors.
Hold on a second. I think that's amazing that he's doing coaching while he's actually playing.
Yeah.
He's just crazy. He's just on another level where he actually has that acumen as well. So
his basketball IQ is so high that he has a very good sense of the game. In fact, he wasn't getting along so much with the last coach they had.
Yeah.
So on a dime, they got rid of him and hired an assistant coach that LeBron did get along with.
Right.
Tyronn Lue, who's a former player, very good coach. It's not like he's a puppet or anything.
Right.
But LeBron has a certain vision and a proven track record of success. So why would you...
Yeah, don't fuck with it.
You're if I give you $30 million and you have a track record, then go run it,
Right.
So
That's
it's
amazing.
pretty amazing. That's the level he's at. He has a lifetime contract with Nike, estimated around $1 billion. So when James Harden has $18 million a year for 6 years, which is impressive.
Yeah.
Nike recognized very early on that, you're going to be the guy for a long time, lifetime contract. You can't go to nobody else. Estimated around to be $1 billion contract. And he still does Samsung and a few other things.
Right.
So, yeah, the guy's, and by all means, seems like a very cool dude. A lot of, charitable work. He's funding an inner city school in Cleveland right now.
Mm-hmm.
The coach for the Golden State Warrior has a back injury. So LeBron went on Twitter. He's like, Steve, my family's prayers are with you guys. Hope to see you guys in the finals. Seems like a stand-up guy. People say he's full of himself, but I think you should be full of yourself.
Yeah, you're at that level.
You're
we watch UFC.
Yeah.
All it is a bunch of people full of themselves.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
What you need
If you're gonna compete.
If you're gonna compete against other people.
Yeah.
Because I think you'd be less of a player if you didn't believe in yourself a little bit too much.
So here's the thing.
What?
With all that being said about, I was going to say all that being said about Kendrick.
Mm-hmm. Those two, good friends.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, dude, LeBron got the album way early. There's a video of LeBron at a Kendrick concert.
Yeah.
And Kendrick's rapping, LeBron's in the crowd. Somebody's recording him. He doesn't know. He's just rapping along. He's jumping around and rapping to every word. He's really, and they talk and stuff.
All right.
He got the last album a month early as a review, and he was like, get this album when it drops.
Uh-huh.
So
yeah, this is a good album. Well, we won't go there right now.
Sure.
Raptors.
Yeah.
Do we even have a chance? I think I gotta say we. Just already
That's
jumped.
good. Dude, jump on the bandwagon. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know why that's frowned upon.
Yeah.
Frankly, it should be. Some people are gonna have other things to do in life, but we got a chance. And even if we win 2 games, it's respectable. If we get swept, meaning it's a best out of 7 series, you've won 4 games, you move on.
Right.
If you get swept, it's embarrassing, and that's no bueno.
Right.
But if you can win 2 games, you'll be like, all right, greatest player, very good team, but the Cavs haven't been playing their best basketball the last 2 months.
Right.
Raptors are. Let's see if they can put it together. I doubt it, but I'm definitely going to watch. They can possibly do it. Possibly. And this is my favorite thing living right beside the ACC is that when the Raptors do win a game, you know how there's like a mob mentality?
Yeah.
And people always talk bad about like, oh, sports mob mentality.
Right.
Mob mentality, that's a good thing. People are so much nicer after the homeless people are getting more money. I'm sure of it. Like people just come out happy and stuff.
Yeah.
Mob mentality can go both ways. You can be a shitty mob or you could be a super happy mob. So like, yeah, I think if they win, the city's just better. The city's happier. It's honestly there's a thing to it, and people always talk bad about like sports. It's just this city versus that city.
Right.
Like that's not a bad thing. It's not. You can
It's
take
a unifier.
pride in,
You think
it's a unifier?
it's a unifier within the city?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So especially if like they're doing well, but if people are angry, then yeah. People,
Well, it's fickle. That's what it is.
The
You
mob
win.
is fickle.
You win.
The mob is fickle.
You win. Everyone's happy. Homeless people are getting fed and they're getting more
true.
money. They lose. Homeless
Yeah.
people getting beat up.
You know what's funny? Homeless people, like you see them like hoarding like foam fingers and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Because people throw them away, and they're just I don't know what they think they're gonna do with these foam fingers.
Insulation, I believe.
No. I mean, you're right, possibly, but it doesn't seem that way. I feel like they're gonna try to sell them later. Because, anyways, I've been talking to a few homeless people. It's been getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah, we spoke about that.
Yeah.
I thought you were just you were doing what I thought you should do, which is analyze threat. What are you doing now? You're just trying to figure out why
trying to figure out what he's doing with these fingers. Like straight up, I'm like, hey, what are you doing with these fingers? And they're like, I'm gonna sell them once they're worth something. I'm like, man, this guy's gonna be homeless. I don't mean like that in a bad way,
He already is.
but yeah, some of the homeless people are a lot of mental disabilities, like mental issues, like crazy. But back to basketball.
No, I just want to. You've been listening to Kendrick a little bit, yeah?
Oh yeah, everybody has, man.
That album is great.
It's hot.
I did not get the other album.
I know. Does Kendrick have a basketball team that he bumps? No one, right?
I don't think so.
It's just Drake and
It's not
us.
like Drake.
Okay.
Yeah. Drake's album was freaking awesome too.
It's pretty good.
He sings, and I don't mind it at all. It's
Yeah.
great.
So there was that thing we were just talking about with the Beatles and whatnot. So you have like the Kendrick,
Yeah.
like this guy that comes in and he just like sets a flag, and everybody's like, "Shit, look at that flag!"
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna start setting flags.
Right.
And you have a guy like Drake. I'm not saying anything wrong with Drake. You can of course appreciate music, not shitting on anybody who likes Drake.
Right.
But you're like, all right, that's. I'm not saying it's junk food, but it's very easily digestible, and it'll be out of
for
your
sure.
system. And
For sure.
Kendrick, I'm gonna listen to that. Like,
You have to digest it, take it in, listen.
Oh, what's this mean?
Yeah.
Don't call me black. That's just a color. I've never heard it that way. Why does that seem so important?
Yeah. When you go to rapgenius.com
Yeah.
and you go and read
website.
you read a Drake like song, it's like, undercover shots to someone, this, that, and the other. He makes a lot of money.
Right.
He likes this girl. He's brokenhearted. That's the type of
Makes a
stuff
lot of
that you're getting.
money. We know. We know. You all do.
And then when you go to Kendrick, it's like history, something, Wikipedia
Yeah.
link, or read this other thing where he's
Yeah.
like mentioning like it's deep. You take a lot longer.
And I used to always do that with the people I like, Immortal Technique and whatnot.
Oh
It
my
just
God.
wasn't that kind of content with that level of talent.
Yeah.
And now it's like, Kendrick's out of hand, man.
It's great.
He's gonna be around the next bunch of years. We're gonna get to enjoy like Kendrick albums.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which is so different from what we normally get out of Compton.
What do we get out of Compton, brah?
Dr. Dre.
Well, at one point that was
the great, still my all-time favorite album.
that was like a landmark thing at that time. I was like, no one's talking about this. These guys have attitude.
No. That's at NWA, right? That's what
Yes.
you're talking about. You're talking about NWA. Oh, no, I'm talking about Chronic 2000.
Oh, I see. Great album as well.
Yeah.
Great album as well. Did you always listen to hip hop?
No, I started listening to, in high school, I started listening to dance.
What kind of dance? Swing?
Um,
Salsa?
no, like pop.
Okay.
Pop dance, yeah.
What's that like? I don't even know what you're talking about. By the way.
Oh, like house music.
Ah.
House music, yeah. Pop.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was all white people,
Right.
right? There was one brown guy, me,
Yeah.
and two black guys.
Did people act like thuggish in your high school?
Nope.
None?
It's all white.
Agreed.
Oh,
did
I understand what
people
you're saying.
Listen to hip hop and talk in the slang and none of that.
Zero. Not even
Really?
the black guys.
Not even the black guys.
Yeah.
All right, impressive. Okay, cool. I have a lot of respect for that. We got a lot of that, and I moved from the really ghetto school,
Yeah.
and then moved to the really nice school, and there were tons of people in the really nice school being super ghetto, and then going home in their like gated communities.
Right.
And it was very frustrating.
In high school,
Yeah.
it started to pick up. You get silver chains, big like bling, whatever, all that stuff. Then it started. But people didn't talk, like they didn't pick up the
mannerisms and
I don't think so. It wasn't as it's crazy now.
I think so. I haven't been to high school in a minute, but from what I can tell,
He was talking to a kid, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? He's like, oh, it's Gucci.
it's Gucci. I love it.
I'm like, excuse me?
Gucci.
It's all Gucci.
So what's like if it's not so good?
I have no idea,
Is
dude.
it
I didn't even
Fendi?
know
Is
this.
it almost as good? It's like it's Fendi. Man, it's George. It's like the Walmart brand. I don't know. It's like really bad.
I've only used the expression "it's lit" as like ironically,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
I was hanging out with Suzanne and her younger brother, and he's in university right now.
Okay.
And they use that word like for real. That is a
Yeah.
serious expression about how a certain situation
The
went
state
down.
of the situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was lit.
Yeah.
And
Fire.
there was no
know.
smirk, right? There's no air quotes.
I've heard people say like non-ironically they're saying like, oh, it's fire. That movie, it's fire. Like it's fire. It's fire. I'm like, all right, good. Cause see, when I was younger, it used to be hot. That's hot.
Yeah.
Now it's even hotter. It was flammable, and nobody told me. Oh, that's ash. That'll be the next one. It's like, oh, it's so fire, it's already burnt out. That's ash.
Are we getting old, bro?
No.
We're talking about other people's like vernacular.
We're just realizing what happens when you get old.
Yeah.
Right? So we're just looking at it with some perspective. That's all. I don't think that we're actually getting old. Like, this is so stupid. We're just like, oh, this just is a cycle
Right.
of people creating new nonsense and dabbing. And then older people are like, yeah, all right. I see it. Like, I understand what you're doing. I just don't find it cool. It's not like I don't get it.
Right.
It's just like, all right, after the 18th time.
Fair enough. Yeah, I remember once I was shooting at Mist,
Yeah.
and everyone was saying they were gonna dab.
Yeah. You know how old it gets immediately? Like, after the first day I saw it, I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this. It was interesting the first day, and then I realized this rapper created, and this is how it proliferated, and now I'm done with it. Let's all dab. I'm like, really?
I still say awesome.
Yeah. That's timeless.
It's cool.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
You should create something. That's Crash. Or something. I'm not saying that's
We gotta
right.
do better. That was the cool part in the Star Trek movie,
What?
where it was the third one, the third of the new gen,
Okay.
where you've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Where they play music that disrupts the hive.
Right.
Like,
Wasn't it Sabotage by Beastie Boys?
yep. And then one guy, and then one of them was like, "Are they playing classical music?"
Right.
And Spock is like, "I believe they are." Classical music.
Wow. Pop culture is a crazy thing, man. It's hard to ride that wave.
Yeah.
You even see it with like Joe. Joe seems old as balls sometimes talking about things.
Yeah.
He seems so old talking about Key and Peele, or he'll just mispronounce things
Yeah.
and just look at Jamie. He's like, am I right? No? Okay. You have those greasy shoes? Jamie, is that what it's called? Yeezys? Yeah, I'm sorry. And you don't blame the guy, but you're like, oh, that guy's old as shit.
What is it with these shoes?
They're limited release. That's what I can tell.
Okay.
It's the limited releaseness that makes them so expensive.
It's like Nintendo.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Bring it back to your world. You know.
Nintendo does limited releases of all their consoles so that it creates a demand because they're so hard to get.
We used to, but when I worked at Walmart, people used to, so we get all whatever the system was, PlayStation, one skid.
Yeah.
And it would be wrapped up in like a special tape.
Right.
So make sure like this shit does not open. And what would happen is the night before, I worked the night crew, right? So 11 at night to 7 in the morning. And these things are worth so much more than the sticker price because you know they're going to be gone. You only get one skid.
Right.
And only 4 out of every X amount of Walmarts get them.
Yeah.
And people used to like take it and then toss it in the trash. Just toss it in the trash as like 4 or 5 at a time and rewrap it as quickly as possible. And then in the morning, jump in the trash and leave with it. I think they stopped that now, but that's what used to happen. They used to sell them for like $1,800. Yeah. I've seen some insane stuff where people, I had a guy who actually got the job at McDonald's just so he can steal the PlayStation, the new ones. And then he got fired immediately after and he didn't care. He made us like $4,000. He took like 8 systems.
There was an article I read about a guy who dumpster dives.
Okay.
But he dumpster dives behind like Future Shop, Best Buys. Well, not Future Shop. It was in America. So Best Buys and all these tech stores. And what happens is that a lot of people buy something, they crack it open, and they return it. They say they don't want it.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper for some products, for some particular things, for you just to throw it out and call it a write-off than for you to like send it back, repackage it, and put it back together again.
That's insane.
So what happens is that they just chuck it in the back.
Yeah.
So apparently, this guy is using a gray area, and at nighttime takes pickup truck, goes in.
That sounds like a great idea.
Finds it. He was an engineer, and so what he would do, his idea was he would find trash, fix them, and then sell them on Kijiji and eBay. But what he was finding out is that you could just go behind these stores and just get the thing that works. And all you need to do is like put one tape on it and be like, look, it's brand new.
Yeah.
Right. So he was doing that. His first year doing it, he made $250,000.
That seems weird.
It was on the Washington Post or
How
something.
much
It was like a
little
legit.
shit was he selling? Because it's not the big ticket items.
No, like he found it was like a CCTV camera set. So like
just chuck those.
3 or like 5 cameras within like a thing. Like it's the whole set. It's like in a box.
That's crazy.
Right? He picks it up and he sells it for $1,000. Like that's how quick he can make that much money.
I can't even imagine they're throwing that kind of stuff out. That's insane. Well, no, if there's no avenue to return it, what do you do?
Yeah.
People aren't gonna buy it. That's why like you have Aldo and then you have like whatever it is.
Call it a spring.
Yeah. Or just like, well, this is too old for this store, so let's move it here. So like every store should have like a Tiger Direct or a Kanda Computers where you can like off-sell your opened crap. What they do in Toronto is like if you have a bakery store or a baked goods store, at the end of the day, all your stuff it goes all to a homeless shelter.
Right.
So that way you don't have to just throw it out. So plus homeless people aren't going to complain about like slightly hardened bread. I haven't had bread in a minute.
You sent me a couple pictures of you cooking bread.
Yeah, I made bread.
Okay.
Didn't go well.
Oh, okay.
They're okay. There's not enough air in the thing. I'm still figuring it out.
Okay.
I picked up a new propane tank. I ran through all my propane. So I'm going to do meats again this week and then figure out bread. Bread is tough.
Yeah.
Bread takes a lot more science and control than I thought it would, unless I'm doing it wrong. But now when I go to a bakery, I'm having a full conversation. I'm like, who makes the bread? Can I speak with you? And they're always down. Always down to talk.
They're bread nerds.
Yeah, they're bread nerds. They talk to me about the salt content. Oh, you can't use that kind of salt. Are you crazy? I don't know. I went to the store and got, whatever was recommended. Like, you got to buy this stuff online. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
But yeah, I need to, it's going to be a thing. It's definitely going to be an obsession.
Okay.
Because the rabbit hole goes deep enough. That's how I know if it's going to be an obsession or not.
Right.
So if it goes deep enough.
Just getting a starter. You can go somewhere that had a starter from like the 1980s or the 1970s. It's still been going.
I don't know how I feel about that.
You just take that and you bring it home.
There's some old ass bacteria in there, man. Seriously.
You got to keep feeding it, put water in it.
I've seen people do it. I want to do it. I just don't want to be the gross guy with like a weird smudge in their fridge that smells like a...
Can you explain what a starter is?
No.
No?
No. Can you?
I can't either.
I'm not there yet.
Okay.
I'm not there yet. I'm still learning a lot, but I don't know enough.
Right. All I know is that it's yeast.
It's yeast
with bacteria and something that it's been kept alive for years and years and years, and you use this yeast for you to be able to make your bread. But you want to keep this starter alive forever.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the benefits are having an older starter compared to a new starter. And like that's the kind of stuff that I've been looking more into. Like, why do I want an old ass starter?
Right.
If my new starter is very good, but like some people are like, oh, it makes a big taste difference. But other people said it really is healthier.
Right.
So I'm not sure yet. So I don't want to speak out of turn, but you're absolutely right about everything you said.
Maybe it's like wine.
Right? Tell me more. What do you know about wine?
I have no idea. All I know is that older is better.
Yeah. It depends on where it's grown though. I've listened to a lot of wine podcasts. I got really, for a guy who's never had wine, got really into wine for a while there. Because it was such an art. That's what I get into, is the art of doing something.
Right.
So it was like, first off, the most important thing is the land. The land, the fertility of the land, and it has to be meant for growing wine. And not every land, you can be fertile for tomatoes, but it may not be wine country. That's why they call it wine country. Because these patches of land are good for wine.
Really?
Yeah.
So the dirt is good for wine.
The dirt is good for grapes that are these type of grapes possibly brought in from either the West Coast or France.
Yeah.
And they can also grow here. So you can take that same seeds and try to put them in a fertile land elsewhere. It's not going to have the same wine. And then there's also a lot to do with like the picking process and the fermentation process. I heard the lead singer of alternative metal band called Tool.
Okay. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, Maynard James Keenan talking about it a lot, and then that made me get super interested. So, and then I was like, what am I doing here? Like, I'm not going to drink. Why am I learning so much about something I don't care about?
So apparently you can get yourself alcohol-free wine.
That's bullshit.
Completely halal.
Yeah, but why?
From England.
Yeah, but what you trying to do?
Tastes exactly like wine.
So, you think people are drinking, not to you, but the people who are making this and think this is a good idea?
Well, okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
Right? There are... Okay, so my girlfriend's a convert.
All right.
And she wanted to get the taste of wine without the alcohol.
Okay.
Right? So she ordered a case from England.
A case.
Because you can't buy a bottle.
Of course, that makes sense.
Six bottles of wine.
Yeah.
Of non-alcoholic wine.
Yeah.
And apparently it tastes amazing.
It tastes like juice, probably.
I don't think so. I haven't tried it yet. I'll let you know. I'll try it in the next couple of days.
I've had champagne, non-alcoholic. I've had beer, non-alcoholic. Everything tastes, you know what? Smell it, and it'll taste like that for the most part.
Yeah?
But you're not drinking wine for the taste, you know?
You're trying to get buzzed.
Of course.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like, it's not food, right? It's like, oh, this tofu tastes like meat. And like, no.
I had pork.
Okay.
I had pork.
Yeah.
It was vegetarian pork.
I know.
It tasted amazing.
That's cool. That's similar. Those two things make sense.
Okay.
But non-alcoholic wine, people aren't drinking wine for the taste, right? So
I think they do. Don't you think so?
Not at all.
No. It's for the alcohol bit.
Yeah. So if the wine tastes amazing, it's the best tasting wine of all time, but it has zero of the alcoholic content of somebody who drinks wine doesn't. He's like, yeah, this is a nice drink, like a juice. Stop wasting my time. I drink wine. You know? If you ever
there's
take
no
like
juice connoisseur.
Yeah. No. It's like if you actually, I've noticed this. A guy was selling a vaporizer, and he's like, it mimics exactly what a cigar feels like. And I asked my buddy, I'm like, hey, have you tried this vaporizer? He's like, bitch, I smoke cigars. Like, that's what I'm here for. Why would I be vaping a cigar? Because cigar is not a cigarette.
Right.
He's doing this for the experience of the whole experience of a cigar, just like a wine drinker does.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, I'd almost be like me putting in your emulator of, no, you know what? Driving a car. And I know you'd get a lot of it. Like, no, but I want to drive the car.
Yeah.
It's not the same. It's not apples to apples here.
Right.
But the wine thing, yeah, I've been told, like, this tastes just like beer. I'm like, beer tastes like shit because I've smelled it. You know? It smells like piss.
Aren't you
Curious?
Curious? Yeah.
Not at all.
Really?
No. I can't imagine. I have no. And if somebody is curious, I'd love to know.
Uh-huh.
But I've smelled it, and I imagine the taste is similar to that. But I know people aren't doing it for the taste.
Right.
That's not why anybody's drinking wine, right? It's just a part of the whole thing. So the main experience is probably the intoxication. Most likely 100%. Because if the intoxication didn't exist, wine wouldn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why people are, you know.
Well, I mean, juice exists.
Yeah.
But it's a form of nourishment.
Yeah, for the most, not even a good one. Juice is not even good for you.
Juice is not good for you.
Yeah.
Way too much sugar.
Way too much sugar. Going right through your liver. Needs more fiber to slow that thing down. Make you poop. So yeah, that's what I think about that.
I'm interested.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm interested too.
I want to know what it tastes like.
I'm a little interested.
Because apparently, like, there's also the question of it pairing well with stuff.
Ah, I see.
Right? Because, like, you know, if you eat meat, you're supposed to drink a certain color.
Right.
And just that aspect alone is as a result, by virtue of its taste, not of its intoxication.
Right.
So,
True.
You know,
True.
that might be interesting.
Nope. That's actually a very good point, because since wine became a staple of certain alcoholics' dinner menu, they were like, what does this pair with? Well, how can I have this all the time? Have it with this food. You know, that's really, how do I stay drunk all the time and not feel bad about it? Well, it goes well with this. Okay, then. So yeah, I can see the value in that.
Right.
Yeah. But I think the buzz is still.
Is the thing?
It has to be, man. You've been to France?
No, I have not.
You gotta go. I went to Paris.
Just the airport.
Dude, they drink so casually.
Yeah.
You'll just be at a park and people would just be like walking around with a wine glass, and sometimes no bottle. And we're like, how long have you been walking around with that wine glass? Like, where'd that come from? But people are just drinking casually, reading a book, drinking wine. Not even beer, wine.
Yeah.
All over the place. And it's very relaxing.
I feel like if people did that in North America, there'd be even more fat people. See, in France, okay, you're there. Maybe you can comment on this.
Sure.
Right? They eat a lot of carbs.
Yes. Can't stop, won't stop.
Right.
Culturally.
Cheese.
Yeah.
And
bread stores
all over the place.
Oh my God.
And then you're saying that they drink wine casually.
They smoke cigarettes too at like ages that you're like, is that a child smoking a cigarette? And no exaggeration, it'll be like a 12-year-old and he'd be smoking a cigarette.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
Did you see that their lifestyle is very much mobile? They walk everywhere and
They
stuff.
walk friggin' everywhere.
And that is one of the main reasons why they don't.
It must be because they're not as fat. They just aren't, especially for the habits I was noticing. And I'm a people observer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the humor in everything.
Yeah.
They're not fat. They're a little drunk. They smell like cigarettes.
Right.
But they're not fat.
Yeah.
And they are. Istanbul, the same thing. Istanbul is just like yogurt on everything. Meat, yogurt, whatever. But like everybody's walking around.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think here, especially in the States, not so much in Canada too, but like it's the food choices, man. And also,
everyone's sitting.
You're just sitting. That's the way they want it. You just have to sit.
After work, I don't like sitting. So that's why we have that at work. We have meetings, and we're like, we should just do the stand-up meeting. So we just stand where we don't have to sit.
Okay.
If I gotta run errands afterwards, you gotta wait in line. If I'm at if I go to my acupuncturist, I'm standing everywhere.
I'm wondering is how much calorie standing burns.
It doesn't. It's just that I feel like it's better for me if I stand.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. It's horrible. Like, don't you feel like you're getting like I don't know how much you actually sit at your desk, but like there's days where I can go a full 5 to 6 hours where I don't even get up once.
Yeah,
because I'm just working along.
I book different rooms to make phone calls out of, and I also I like to go I'll schedule walks. I'm like, hey, you want to go to like run this errand with me later, and I'll walk with coworkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
man. I'm feeling things are like seizing up. I had to spend more time on a foam roller.
Oh man, I haven't done that yet. I've just been doing yoga and jiu-jitsu. My body, alhamdulillah, is fixed.
It's feeling good?
Dude, it's feeling the best it's had in probably 5-6 years.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
It's rejuvenating. I feel so much younger just from having people. I went to jiu-jitsu class last Tuesday. Yeah. There was a brown belt from like a Gracie Academy in Timmins.
Yeah.
I got done rolling. I sat in the corner while everybody else rolled. I couldn't get up. I was just trying not to throw up. And then I eventually was able to make it out to my car, and I sat there for 20 minutes, just making sure that I wasn't going to pass out. Yeah, I'm not exaggerating.
Okay, from being super, super tired? Or
being super tired and carrying another man's weight on me and fighting him while he's trying to choke me out. I did not tap a single person. That wasn't the point. Like, I lasted long, but I was... if somebody tried to push me over, like try to rob me while I'm trying to go to my car, I would have gotten robbed.
Right.
Regardless of their age. It could be an 80-year-old lady with one leg, and I would have been got. Yeah, it was that bad.
Got me slipping.
The next day, felt sore as heck. Sore for 5 days. But like my body, all those aches and pains, those tiny things, nothing. Went to yoga the next day. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get back into it. I'm finding myself having less and less time as like start planning some important stuff.
Okay.
Throughout the rest of the year. You told me you're like you're gonna run out of time.
You get run out of time as you grow up, man.
Dude.
Yeah.
I had so much time.
You got no. You're gonna look back at like how much time you did have and what you did with it.
And just squandered it all.
You're like, I was trying to get fake wine with my time. This is bullshit.
How are you on your kettlebell? Because
I'm all right. Yeah. I do it as warm-ups for other things, for jiu-jitsu exercises.
Right. It's good. It fires everything up all at the same time. I like it.
I feel that way. I feel like it's a really good, like even if I'm going for a run, I'll do like 20 to 30 kettlebell swings.
Okay.
And I'll go for a run.
Right.
And I just feel looser.
I'm trying to graduate to that 40-pounder.
Man, I can't chase weights.
The reason why is because then I can get the Ironman one. So
you can get that one now.
Well, I can, but I can't use it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could use it for only like a couple things.
How much is that Iron Bell kettlebell?
I think it's like 150, I think.
They mailed that to you?
Yeah.
Holy cow. You are whoever your mail guy is, like, this asshole is just ordering sand.
I can't wait. I want to be able to use that.
Yeah, man.
Just for the sake of like swinging it around. That's what's good for
We can
summertime.
put in the photo. Nice iron bell, kettlebell in between us. That'd be badass.
Right. All right, dude.
What?
Get Out.
Okay.
The movie.
Oh. I was like, it's not. I don't think it's time. Like
I know,
38 minutes.
I know you only watched 15 minutes of it,
I watched 15 minutes.
but let me be able to tell you just this bit.
Do it.
It doesn't get to a point where I feel it's going to cause you more sleepwalking
Okay.
because it's
You
more
don't know
of
what causes me sleepwalking.
this is true, but I feel like it's not a straight up horror movie, and we've watched horror movies before.
That's true. What have we seen?
We watched the one with the goat.
Drag Me to Hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit. That wasn't a horror movie. That was the funniest movie. That was funnier than Anchorman.
Yeah, you laughed a lot.
I laughed my ass off. My throat was sore the next day from Drag Me to Hell.
Okay.
This is different?
Yeah, this is just it's just slightly jumpy,
Okay.
but it's really worthwhile, man. For just looking at it from the point of view of like who is it?
Jordan Peele?
Peele.
Yeah.
This was his first this is his movie debut.
Yeah.
And he broke a bunch of records just as a result of like his opening week, like first black man to have a horror movie that like a particular level of the box office. Like it broke records is essentially what it is. And it did really well. And
I don't think it had a huge budget either.
No, not at all.
Nice.
And it's touted to be like this. It's called this new genre, social thriller.
Social thriller?
Yeah, because it's commentary on like
I figured.
black and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say black and stuff?
Like black. Yeah, the black experience is it's within that. It's really interesting.
Okay. I saw the trailer too. I was like, yeah,
Okay.
this looks like it'll be both of that.
Right. So, do you think it makes a difference?
Yeah.
When you watch a horror movie, this is not a horror movie, but if you watch a horror movie at night,
Yeah.
then it's harder for you to go to sleep, right?
Oh, 100%.
What if you watched it in the morning with like the windows open, stuff like that?
I think I'd be missing something from the movie. I think the point of watching a horror movie is for your ass to be like, I'm scared. And when I'm negating that by having the windows open, looking at the lake every now and then and distracting, you know what I mean? So that's my curse.
Okay.
And everybody has different things. I have a tiny curse that I can't, if I get scared, I might sleepwalk at night.
Uh-huh.
So, and the problem is I'm getting stronger. Like I grabbed for his hand.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I told you, but like a week ago, I was sleeping, or so I thought.
Yeah.
And I was like, just talking a little bit. And then she reached over, and according to her, I grabbed her hand with my eyes closed.
Right.
And I've been doing, because of jiu-jitsu, I've been doing this grip strengthening exercises where I've worked my way up from being able to squeeze 20 pounds to 40 plus pounds.
Right.
I can break apples now with my hands.
What?
Yeah, I was doing for jiu-jitsu, and I'm like, how do you test this? Give me that apple, and snap. Like it was a big red one, so maybe it's easier. I don't know. But I grabbed her hand so hard that she had a hard time going to bed.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, I let go. I'm like, hey, you're sleeping. It's okay. And according to her, I comforted her, and she's like, you were the one sleepwalking. So I'm just trying to not do that. But then again, I don't want to be afraid of things. I want to watch these horror. Like when I'm awake, I don't feel afraid.
Right.
But
Exactly.
my subconscious is telling me that I'm a wussy. So
You have a very interesting ailment.
it's something, man. It's not the worst one, but it affects your sleep.
Yeah.
And
which sucks. That's when you're supposed to be recharging.
That's when you're supposed to be recharging. And also like what my brain creates when I'm like the type of dreams I have are. It's impossible, right? We don't have dream recorders, so you can't explain the feelings you have in a dream.
Right.
But when I wake up from a dream, I feel like I'm in that same state for at least 10 to 20 seconds, and I'm moving.
Right.
And it's I can do weird things. I can run into places, out of places. If the door's locked. Okay, last night I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for pajamas to wear because I'm here in Mississauga. I keep 2 pajamas, my sleeping pajamas, and I realized that one of them has a tear in it.
Right.
It has a hole where like
Your crotch.
yeah, where the zipper should be.
Yeah.
And I had ripped these pajamas so the hole is all the way down to the bottom of the stitching.
Right.
I did this while sleeping.
Right.
I don't know if I can do that while being awake. And this is the second time I've done something like this.
Okay.
So I'm doing like, it would take all my strength to do something like this. And I did it, and I don't even remember it because I was sleeping. Right. So I try not to take chances.
That's true.
Because if I can do something like that, and I grabbed my other pajamas
Just
and I
to
tried
see
to do
how
it.
much-
Yeah,
how
and I
much-
was like, oh, I don't think I can do this. But
This is
imagine in
double
my
stick.
head, that's all that needed to happen at that moment. It was so important.
Right.
So, yeah, it's playing with fire for entertainment.
So for me, my best dreams are alien related.
You have good dreams?
They're generally adventure dreams, or I am being like escapism.
Okay.
So like, I'll get to the escapism one later.
Oh, I'm
but
interested.
like for the alien dreams, it's generally either abductions or I am already abducted, and now I'm trying to get out of the ship. I get those a lot.
Yeah,
When I'm trying to
really?
like land back on Earth.
that's nice.
So-
Is it a similar alien?
No, sometimes they're human.
Okay.
Other times they're like bug type
Okay.
aliens. They're never like xenomorph from the movie Alien.
Right.
They're all like, they're not trying to kill you. They're trying to control. It's a lot of that type
Very
of thing.
cool.
And then there's me trying to escape. So there's one in the mothership.
Yeah.
In the mothership.
got
Just find myself in the mothership.
Okay. I was like, how'd you get there? All right, cool.
And then there's a guy as a human. He's standing on like a soapbox type deal, and he's talking to a bunch of people who are all abducted too in this big huge place within the ship. And he's saying, "Look, it's good, it's fine. They're here to help us. Don't freak out." And in my head, I'm like, "Fuck that."
Yeah. How do you know?
Yeah.
How do I know you're not one of them?
So I'm looking around. By the way, the interior of the ship,
Yeah.
super alien.
Okay.
Right? It's carvings everywhere. Even the floor's got carvings.
Oh.
I don't know. And I'm like, okay, I just need to wait until nighttime. I don't know why there's a concept of day or night instead of a ship, but I got to wait
Right.
until nighttime. And then I can go to the hangar and take a smaller ship
Back to Earth.
back to Earth, because
Makes sense.
we're obviously orbiting Earth. So I find like this this sliding door cubby thing. I slide it open,
Right.
and then I get myself in. I'm like squashed in here, right? And then I see a girl that at the time that I had the dream,
Right.
had somewhat of a crush on, and she was abducted too.
Okay.
I'm
But
like,
she's from real life.
she's from real life.
Very cool. Tell me more.
So I'm saying, hey, come here, right? And so she squeezes in with me,
It's Yasin's dream, of course.
and then we slide the door,
Yeah, you do.
right? Night comes. We find ourselves in the hangar.
Right.
And see all of these ships. These ships look like manta rays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Manta rays, except like they're a little thicker,
Okay.
right? There's no way to get in. Can't figure out how to get in. So I'm going up to the ship, and I'm like, wait over here. I'm gonna try to get into the ship. And I see that it's got a mouth.
Like a manta ray.
And so then I was like, okay, maybe you enter through the mouth. How do I get it to open?
Then I check the asshole. I'm like, shit, it has an asshole too.
And so it turns out
Yeah.
that if you poke it, it like opens its mouth. So I believe I poked it with something,
Right.
and it opened its mouth. And I walked into the mouth,
Yeah.
and then into the mouth and up
Yeah.
into the cockpit.
Okay.
Right in there, it's just a regular airplane, like it looks like a regular airplane, right? At this point in time,
Yeah.
I don't think she followed me inside the mouth
Right.
of this plane.
And you were like, F it.
I'm out.
We already had the closet moment.
Yeah.
I'm good. Got out of my system.
Right? What do you think? This is a Hollywood movie?
I know.
Right? I take off and I fly to Earth. Trip didn't take that long.
Okay.
When I land, my dad is there to pick me up in his car.
Okay.
Then we both get in the
That's
car.
my favorite part so far.
We
Your
both
dad's
get,
like, you're late. Garçon, where you been?
we both get in the car
Yeah.
and we drive straight to Heather's place.
Okay.
And then I tell the story
Yeah.
to Heather's parents.
Because they're white and they would know what to do.
They would know what to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one story.
Damn. That's a sick dream, by the way.
Sometimes I get a bunch of these type of alien type dreams. Most of the time, I'm excited when I wake up. In the dream, I'm excited during the dream. Like, I'm not scared. Just so a lot of times I follow on Instagram a shit ton of alien stuff.
Right.
Just because like I feel like if I keep looking at it,
Yeah.
I build up a repertoire of cool
course.
alien stuff.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then I get
How
I get
many
cool
of these dreams end like this? Like it's somewhat of a pleasant ending, compared to like Alien. You find out it's inside of you,
Oh,
and you have to rip your pants open.
98% is me almost getting away, or in the midst of running away, and then I wake up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That seems about accurate.
The second one is escapism, which is my favorite.
Oh, what happens in that?
Also, generally,
In
there's a girl with me.
Oh, okay. There's always a girl, generally a girl.
It's either
And you're saving them generally?
no, it's just running together.
Running together?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's either that or it's alone or with a girl.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like it.
And this one was we're being chased by a gang in Africa,
Oh, no.
and we're in a white van driving through the Serengeti.
Yeah.
And this was a short dream. I came up to a bridge, but the bridge was broken. So like you'd go up the bridge, and then at the very top there was no more bridge, and it continued off this way. Yeah. And I angled the van over, so instead of trying to make the bridge, we just like launch the van into the trees, and then hopefully like the trees would break the fall of the van.
Gosh darn.
But that wasn't enough for me.
Yeah.
So as we launch up, somehow we get ourselves onto the hood of the van. Van is airborne.
Okay. And
Now
you're
I'm
on the hood.
We're on the hood of the van,
God dang, dude.
and then I would jump off into the trees, and then I wake up. I've had that dream 3 times.
Maybe you haven't been able to figure it out yet. Maybe you need to try something different. Do you think that could be a thing? Have you seen Ender's Game?
Yes.
You know how he's like trying to play through this game? He's trying to do
Right.
different
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Maybe you're like, oh, I've been here. I got to do this. I'm going to try this.
Yeah.
I'm going to fart. Just see what happens. You wake up, you shit yourself. You're like, damn it. When I was a kid, I had a dream where I was in Tiny Toons.
Okay.
You know the cartoon? Babs and Buster Bunny. It was a cartoon.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, while I'm in the Tiny Toons University, I'm trying to look for the restroom.
Right.
And I find it, and I take a piss, and I wake up, and I had taken a piss in real life.
Yeah.
This was when I was a kid, like
Right.
probably 9 or 10.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, dreams are dangerous.
Ever since then, have you had a dream where you were looking for a washroom?
Yeah.
And you will yourself to wake up
100
quick.
every single time.
Yes, me too.
Since
now.
then,
me too.
you piss yourself once.
That is a lesson you
Yeah.
learn once.
Yep.
After that, I don't even mess with it at all.
No.
Like it is an immediate exit.
Yep.
And when I wake up, like that's it. Just
Yep, 100%. I was peeing in a dream once, and I was like, "Wake up!" And I woke up, and I was like, "Oh, you don't have to pee. It's all right." But like, it's in your subconscious.
Yeah.
While the cartoon bunny doesn't tip you off, when you have to pee, you're like, "Hold on, don't pee yourself."
If I wake up and it was a dream where I was looking for a washroom, I still walk up to the washroom.
Okay.
Yeah. I want my brain to know that I went there.
What I hate is dreams where you are at work.
What?
Yeah, like a dream where I used to have dreams where I'd be like at school. As a dream is at school. There's something weird happening at school or at work, and then you wake up, and you got to go to work or school again. You're like, shit, I was just there. And
I've never had those.
oh man,
I've had the exam one.
yeah. You were fart in class, not in a dream. Real talk.
No, I've been a very good silencer.
Yeah. You
yeah.
ever had like, hey, who farted?
No, I don't say that because that's a trap.
No. If has anybody it smelled what you dealt?
Oh, yeah,
And then
I think so. I don't
you're
remember.
like-
I don't remember a notable thing, but yeah,
Oh,
I think
really?
so. Yeah.
Okay, just out of curiosity. I always wonder how people handle those situations.
Okay. It happened to me once in yoga.
Yeah, it would happen in yoga. It's too much to concentrate on all at once, man.
Yeah, and sometimes you're in a pose.
There goes your sphincter.
Yep.
And then what happens? The thing is, yoga, you can't react.
Everyone's got to
keep
do their
going.
own thing. Yeah. Yeah. There was that, and then once in karate class when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, you do like sit-ups
Yeah.
or crunches or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And then the sensei
Yeah.
would walk around and you would step on each stomach when you like, so when you crunch up, then he
Yeah.
steps on your stomach and he walks off, right? So he's walking in a circle, just stepping on everyone's
Yeah.
stomach.
Yep.
And he got to me, and I think he stepped a little too early, and I wasn't ready. He pumped that air right out.
Where's the fart stored in the human body? I should know more about it. We know a fair bit. We don't know where the fart's stored.
I believe in the colon, my friend.
In the small intestine?
No, I believe in the colon.
In the colon?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna find where people's colons are, and I'm doing jujitsu. I'm gonna put like elbow on there, as soon as they make him fart, go for a guillotine. It'll be like, oh shit, It's like they aren't gonna be ready. As soon as they fart, they're gonna be thinking about that, and you go for the head.
There was that guy, that UFC fighter. He got kicked in the stomach.
Yeah.
And then the dude's like apparently the toe like digged into some like particular fleshy part in his stomach, and he was holding his stomach, and he looked like he was in pain. Mm-hmm. They asked him later, like, "Hey, it looks like he kicked you in the stomach, and you were really in pain."
Yeah,
it's like, no, I wasn't in pain. I just felt like I was gonna shit myself.
Hey, man, that's what.
And then he follows up by, "I didn't want to be the first fighter to shit himself on."
Oh no, people have shat themselves in the UFC. Oh yeah. There's one guy and there's a brown mark on his pants. You could see it.
Oh, okay.
Omer's hit me in the stomach and I've thrown up on the spot.
Right.
Like immediately, like somebody hit the throw up button on you, where he kicked me in the ribs.
Yeah.
And I bent down and I threw up.
Right.
Immediately. So yeah, there's a
poop button. If there's a vomit button, there's a poop button.
There must be a button for it all.
Is there a pee button? I'm assuming just get hit in the kidneys in the back.
I don't know where this conversation's going. I think we have hit the
the saturation point. This is it.
I think so.
All right. Well, what better way for us to pivot off and say goodnight to people?
Oh, are they listening to this at nighttime?
Yeah, they should.
We're recording for one of the first few times, like morning time.
Our normal hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little nasally today.
No, man, you sound good.
I'm fighting
everybody I meet, and they're like, "Hey, I heard your podcast. Yasin sounded, he has a real radio voice." And I was like, "Yeah, he does." Yasin. It sounds a very NPR, even right now.
All right, man. Plans for the weekend before I let you go?
Plans for the weekend? Nah, man, just chilling.
Chilling?
I picked up a propane tank yesterday. It's a 45 pounder. Mm-hmm. So I'm not even going to tell I'm just going to buy a bunch of meats. Yeah. I realized that's how I can contribute to the food in the house.
Right. Grilling.
By grilling. And I love it. And it's something it never goes bad because you only grill what you need to.
Yeah.
And what you don't need to, just put in the fridge. You can just do it tomorrow.
Excellent.
It's such an easy way to contribute to like...
I know I said I was going to come by last weekend.
Yeah.
I'll come by this week.
Yeah. Give me a day. Let me know. Either Wednesday, Thursday, or even Monday.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
All right,
Baby
people.
Back ribs.
Thank you for tuning in on the podcast. We'll be back in a week. Take care of yourselves. Good night.